Have you heard about the medication that can prevent HIV even after you've had sex? Well, listen up, Buttercup, because I've got something exciting to share. What is up, sapiosexuals? Thank you for turning on Sex in South Beach with your girl, DrSonjia, America's sex educator and professor of medicine at the University of Miami. Yes, baby, shouting out from the U. And you know where we're located, in Miami, the sexiest city in America. And in addition to being a super sexy city, Miami also has the highest rates of new HIV infections in the entire United States. Yes, indeed. And what's super crazy to me is that nobody ever needs to get HIV again because it can totally be prevented. Yes, you heard right. And although the COVID-19 pandemic has really taken all the attention away from HIV, it is still a very common sexual infection. And guess what? Since the pandemic, HIV rates have actually gone up, not down. And this drives me crazy because most people don't know you actually have 3 days after sex to prevent HIV. Did you hear me? You, my darling, and all the other darlings out there, have 72 hours after sex to prevent HIV transmission. Boom! Post-exposure prophylaxis, also known as PEP, spelled P-E-P. Well, PEP is a medication that prevents someone from contracting HIV if they've already been exposed to the virus within the last 3 days. And you can get it for free at most emergency rooms and Department of Health clinics. And you know what? It works so well that nobody ever needs to become HIV positive again. So if you drank too much last night and forgot to use a condom, or that penis was just, so dang big that the condom, it just busted open. Or someone you know was sexually violated. Or someone you know was sharing needles to do drugs. Or whatever the case may be, you now know about the medication called PEP that can prevent HIV up to 72 hours after being exposed. Yes, you do. An important thing to remember is that PEP is for emergencies, people, okay? It does not replace condoms or medications that prevent HIV before you have sex, such as PrEP, which is a daily pill that lowers your chances of getting HIV. So condoms and PrEP are for people who plan to have sex with someone who may have HIV. But PEP, P-E-P, that's what we're talking about right here, right now. Well, PEP, that is for emergency use only, which is why emergency rooms are one of the most common places where people get it. So what exactly is PEP? PEP is a series of pills that you can start taking right after you've been exposed to HIV, and it significantly reduces your chances of becoming HIV positive. But you have to start PEP within 72 hours, okay? You got 3 days after you were exposed to HIV, or else PEP isn't going to work for you. The sooner you start, the better it works. Every hour matters. Yes, it does. And once you take PEP, you need to take it 1 to 2 times a day for at least 28 days. Now, the medicines used in PEP are called antiretroviral medications, which work by stopping HIV from spreading through your beautiful body. So, how would someone get PEP? Well, as I just said, you can get PEP from emergency rooms. It might also be available at some health clinics or Planned Parenthood health centers and some doctor's offices. But it's best to call first to make sure that they do have PEP in stock. And when should you take PEP? Up to 72 hours after you were exposed to HIV. But don't wait. It is super important to start PEP as soon as possible. which means if you can't get to a doctor or nurse right away, you need to run your butt down to the emergency room as soon as you can. Remember, every minute counts. Also, before you start PEP, it is important to know that it is not just a one-time pill. We just talked about that. It is a regimen where you're going to take many pills over a course of time, around 1 month, okay? Now, it's important that you take every single pill exactly as directed. Do not skip doses. Otherwise, PEP just might not work for you. And you know what? You really want it to work well, right? Because you are trying to prevent HIV, okay? Another important thing to know is that some people experience PEP side effects, like stomach aches and being tired. But these side effects are not dangerous, and you know what? They can be treated. And the best part, PEP side effects are not HIV, okay? But still, it's really important to talk to your nurse or doctor if you have side effects that really bother you. Now, how do you know if PEP worked to prevent HIV in you? Well, when the doctor prescribes PEP, they should also schedule a follow-up visit in about 4 to 6 weeks to get another HIV test, and then you need to be tested about 3 months later. Now, depending on your situation, your doctor may recommend another HIV test within 6 months. But you know what you got to do? Start protecting yourself, boo! Stop putting yourself at risk, okay? Remember, PEP is for emergencies, okay? Not irresponsibilities. All right? You got it? Good. So next time someone tells you that they may have been exposed to HIV, what are you going to say? Hey, you need to get some PEP in you. That is exactly what you're going to say. And what I would love for you to offer next is to go with this person to the emergency room to make sure that they do get the right treatment to prevent HIV. Yes, baby. And when you do that, you know what I'm going to call you? A sexual health advocate. What a nice, important, and super sexy title to add to your already impressive resume. Booyah! All right now. You know what time it is. It is time for the climax, when I give you a little something to remember about how to prevent HIV after you've been exposed. 1. PEP. Post-exposure prophylaxis is a medication that can prevent HIV after possible exposure. 2. 72 hours. PEP must be taken within 72 hours of exposure to be most effective at preventing HIV. 3. Free. PEP is free at most emergency rooms and community clinics. Call before going to make sure that they have some PEP in stock. And 4. PEP is for emergencies only. People who regularly engage in risky sex should use condoms or the medication regimen called PrEP, which can prevent HIV, but is taken before you have sex. And 5, share this show with your wife, workmate, husband, child, niece, nephew, and your neighbor, because once everybody knows about PEP and PrEP, we can finally end HIV. Hallelujah! Thanks to the brilliant medication advances, there is absolutely no reason for anyone to become HIV positive ever again. But don't worry, y'all. We still got COVID to cure. So there's plenty of work for all those scientific geniuses in the house. Yes, yes, yes. For your daily dose of Nookie knowledge, check me out on all the social media platforms. That's DrSonjia, DrSonjia, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Come on, baby. It is most definitely time to link up. Y'all, I had so much fun chatting you up about how to prevent HIV after sex, and I cannot wait to do it again next time. I'm DrSonjia, America's sex educator. Thanks so much for tuning in to Sex in South Beach, where everyone comes for happier, healthier sex. Whenever someone needs to get super happy, I give them a bottle of Sense Aromatherapy Body Oil. Made with therapeutic-grade essential oils scientifically proven to ignite feelings of pleasure, Sense makes skin feel silky soft and makes users feel super happy. Smell good? Feel good with Sense Aromatherapy Body Oil. Get yours at sensebodyoil.com. That's SENSE bodyoil.com.